What's going on YouTube? This is Sean. I am back again, and in this video we're going to be working on Winter Soldier's arm based off the arm in Infinity Wars. Although we only seen it for just a little bit, it gave me a really good idea on how to make it. And if you haven't seen Infinity Wars yet, then little spoiler alert, Winter Soldier gets his arm back. And if you're wondering how did he lose his arm? Well, that's kind of a spoiler alert for Captain America Civil War. But we're not going to get into that. So I have this replica of my arm all duct taped and patterned out. Yeah, that is a replica of my arm. Seriously, not really. But this arm is perfect for making templates for my Winter Soldier arm. After I got all the patterns drawn out, I went and trimmed off the excess material. And then I went through and cut out all the lines that I need to make this pattern flat. So yeah, basically this is how this template is being made. And this bicep piece right here, when I laid it on the table, it wasn't flat, so I had to go back and cut it to where they became flat patterns, so that way I can scan it, trace it, and put it on some paper just like this. Right here I have the original pattern on top of the traced out patterns to make sure that the sizes didn't change on me. Now I'm going to take some spray adhesive, the repositioning kind, the kind that doesn't stick so well. Then I'm going to spray on a light coat on the back side of the template, and then I'm going to stick it onto the EVA foam. This makes it a lot easier to transfer the patterns over, and you can also, cut along the line. Now this method only works if you're not planning on using the pattern for, let's say, the other side of the arm, since Winter Soldier only has one metal arm. And I'm using 6mm EVA foam. This is just thick enough for me to score the lines in there without actually cutting all the way through. And I want to make sure that I don't cut too deep into the foam. All I want to do is transfer the patterns over. So I'm just going to lightly score the paper and leaving a cut just on the surface of the EVA foam. Then once I'm done with that, I'm going to remove all the paper and apply some heat. You want to make sure you protect your surface whenever using a heat gun, especially when using the cutting board just like this. You don't want it to warp and then get all funky on you. But after I apply some heat, you notice the patterns all came out. And as for the shoulder piece, I went and cut out that line completely because, that part is supposed to come out. And then I'm going through and repeating the process by scoring the surface of the EVA foam. Now once I got all my inner patterns all traced over or transferred over, I'm going to use my heat gun with a sharp tip, and I'm going to carefully go over the lines that I just cut with the razor blade. Now if you don't have a wood burner, you can actually just do this all with the razor blade. Some areas will be easier if you did have a wood burner. Notice that the lines are a lot bigger and noticeable, and that's kind of what we're aiming for. And some of you guys are probably going to ask me, what if we don't have a wood burner? Well, if there was a better way of doing it, then I'd probably be using that method. But yeah, you should probably go invest in a wood burner because I use it very often on a lot of my project, and it's also a saves a lot of time, and it's one of those tools that you have to have when you're cosplaying. Now it's time to go through and make sure all my lines line up, and if they don't, well, too bad, right? I mean, it's just cosplay, bro. I'm just saying. Now I'm gonna go through and repeat the process on the bicep piece. It takes a little practice to get this nice and straight. I mean, I did screw up a few times in some areas, but I'm not going to point it out because yeah, you're just gonna have to look really hard to find it. Now this edge right here actually meets up with another piece of foam, and I don't want to lose the line effect, I guess. So I'm gonna go through and just bevel out the edge with my wood burner, and when you connect the two pieces together, it should look like there's a line there. It kind of hides that seam a little bit. And as for the shoulder piece, I went through and did the same thing on all the edges that are going to join to each other. Now when you do this, you don't want to cauterize the whole thing, because you know when you put wood burner to foam, it cauterizes the foam and the contact cement will not absorb. So you just want to do the, I guess, the corner of the edges, not the whole entire thing. You want to leave something there for glue to absorb into. That way when you glue it all together, it'll stick to each other. This part does take a little bit of practice as well. I did screw up in some areas. You can probably see right there. But I'm just going to tell people I meant to do it. I mean, yeah, why not? It's my cosplay, right? After I got done beveling all the edges, I went through and applied all my contact cement, making sure that I don't get any sloppiness on the outside. But even if I did, I can always go back and clean it off with, you know, some contact cement thinner. Just put it on a rag and wipe it off. Now this bottom edge of the shoulder, I did cut in a slight outward angle. That way when it glues onto the bicep, it will give that muscle looking effect. Now that all my contact cement is dry to attack, I'm gonna go ahead and use the surface of my table to make sure that everything is on there nice and flat on the inside. You don't want it to be all uneven and stuff. And this part right here is the bicep, which is going to get glued together just like that. Then I'm going to carefully align the shoulder piece to the bicep. This part is a little tricky, but it's best to do each corner just like that, and then carefully apply the center pieces down in there. And notice I'm still using the surface of my table to make sure that the foam is glued together nice and evenly. And so far, so groovy. This is what it's looking like. Now I will need to go back and do some trimming to make sure it fits my arm properly. I went and put it around my arm and it was a little bit too big, but I came up with this little line right here. That's where I'm going to cut and apply some contact cement, and once it's dried, I'll be able to glue it back together and it should fit me perfectly. And if it doesn't, then I can always cut it, add more foam or trim more off. It's whatever's. But yeah, apparently I have some line issues there, but let's pretend they're not there. I mean, we can just close our eyes, you know. Now there is a little more trimming I need to do, because when I put it on, it's hard for me to bend my arm. So I just went ahead and cut a little C-notch right there. Now this differs from person to person. My arm is pretty stubby. I mean, it's stubby like it's big but short, and not everybody's arm is built like mine, especially my replica. It's a little bit bigger than my arm, or longer wise. And here are the pieces for the forearm. I'm going to start off by gluing the pie pieces together just like that, and then I'm going to take the two pieces and then merge them together, starting off at one edge and making sure all my hash marks are lined up. My lines are my hash marks, and then I'm going to press it all and make sure it's all in there nice and neatly. Now trying it on this way, I can already tell that the wrist is going to be too small, so I'm going to make some alterations to the pattern. But before I do that, I need to determine how much gap or extra material I need to put on there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it off. I'm applying some contact cement to where I'm going to apply the zipper, and the zipper that I'm using is called an invisible zipper, where the actual zipper metal part is inside the zipper where you don't see it. And you want to make sure that you don't put any contact cement on the actual zipper itself. You just want to stick it onto the fabric. And once the contact cement has come to a dry, then you want to go ahead and carefully put the zipper onto the foam and press everything down on there nice and neatly. I went and put too thin coat of contact cement. You don't want to put too thick of a coat, or you're going to get this mushy, thick spiderweb looking thingy caused by too much contact cement. Then I went and trimmed off the excess zipper material. Now you don't want to go and cut off the stopper on the zipper, or your zipper will come completely off of the zipper. So I don't know what these things are called. I mean, there's that metal piece of the zipper and there's a plastic piece. When I put the shoulder piece on there, it was a little too loose still down by the elbow, and I can tell when I put the forearm on there and when I bend my arms, they tend to bind up right there. Now I could trim the forearm down just a little bit, but I'm going to make the elbow part form just a little bit better, and I'm going to do that by cutting a little pie into the bottom part where the elbow is, and I'm just guesstimating how much gap needs to come off, and that looks about legit to me. After I cut it off with a pair of scissors, I went ahead and applied some contact cement and allowed it to dry to a tack, and once it was dry, I was able to glue it together, easy breezy, just like that, and starting to take form a little bit better. And when I put it on my arm, it's actually closer. Now I did leave a little bit of space there just in case I'm wearing a thicker garment underneath. Now as for the forearm, the wrist was a little too tight, so I'm going to slice right down the seam of the back right here. I'm using some contact cement thinner to break apart that foam just a little bit, and then I'm going to wedge a scrap piece of foam in there to make sure that the glue don't touch each other again, because it's still tacky. And then I'm going to glue that little piece of pie thing that I just cut. I'm going to apply another thin coat of barge contact cement on there just for poops and giggles, to make sure everything is nice and on there. And then I'm going to carefully attach that little piece in there, and this should give me enough room to zip the zipper all the way down my chunky wrist. And so far it is fitting just fine, and I'm liking it. I'm so digging it right now. And now I'm going to take some thin strip of masking tape. I'm going to mask off the zipper because I'm going to use some plastic dip to coat this, and I don't want to get any of that on the zipper itself. And then I took it out to the shop, and then I applied about 2 coats of plastic dip. Once that's dried, I went and sprayed on a couple thin coats of gunmetal paint, because in the movie it was actually gunmetal and not that chrome stuff. So yeah, I'm actually digging the gunmetal look a lot more than the chrome arm. Now I'm going to take my hair dryer and accelerate the drying process, because I'm not really into watching paint dry, because impatient happens and I lack the patience. So far so groovy, and I'm starting to dig when I'm cooking. I hope you're digging it too. I mean, it's pretty cool, but not cool enough. I'm gonna go through and add a little more accent. I got this Sharpie paint marker thingy that you have to shake up and whatever. I'm gonna go through and draw on some gold accents to certain areas of the arm. I'm not gonna go overkill. I did put some accents onto the forearm, and I'm basically winging it and just trying to draw certain edges. I really like using this pen. I think I'm going to use it more often. I actually have a fine point one that I use for transferring patterns over to EVA foam, because those black EVA foam, they're really hard to see with, and sometimes those silver Sharpies, they tend to dry up on you before you get, like, you know, a full use out of them. And these paint marker thingies, they actually last a lot longer than regular Sharpies. And there you have it, guys. The arm is just about done. Now I could do a little bit of trimming on the forearms just to make things fit a little bit better, but I'm just gonna leave it as is, just in case, you know, somebody else wants to wear it and they have longer arms than me. Now I'm wearing a black t-shirt or a black tight shirt, whatever, underneath. And it'd probably be a good idea to wear something gray or silver, just to, you know, conceal that gap area a little bit better. But yeah, so far this is what I got. And notice how easy it is to move around in it. I mean, I can swing my arm back and forth, and I can also bend my elbows nice and freely. So yeah, some of you guys were asking me on Instagram and Facebook, how hard or difficult is it to move around in? Well, here's your answer. It's not that hard, actually. Yeah, and I put some gloves on there. I was able to stretch the glove over the wrist just a little bit, because I'm not going to make metal hands. I mean, that could be another tutorial, or you can just simply throw on some gloves and possibly paint the tips to make it look metal. I don't know. That's up to you. And yeah, and if you're into this kind of stuff, I mean, if you're really into this kind of stuff, then the links to the templates will be in the description down below. And make sure you check out the other links down there, because that supports my channel. And yeah, make sure you hit that like button if you got something out of this video, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already subscribed. Follow me on all my social network, and I guess that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.